So now I'm out a bunch of money. I got to really look at this P&L because like this isn't adding up. I didn't check it enough because they created fake PayPal accounts to send themselves money. Lots of bonus payroll. Well, I had to write a check into this company a couple times. The time came, I was like, hey, so-and-so, Mr. Partner, like I'm writing in checks. Are you going to write in checks? Like, no, I'm not doing that. I was like, well, bro, these people need to like actually eat. Like I'm not going to miss payroll. And then he didn't want to do it. I was like, hey, I need someone who's quote unquote an integrator. In all reality, I could have hired on an assistant instead of giving up 50% equity.
I talk about this all the time. Lost $187,000. Got into another deal in San Diego, and it was a guy running a Ponzi scheme. And he caught me just wanting to do that next deal, didn't do any due diligence on it. All the money I had made, I now basically lost. I just still was holding on to that NFL player ego of like, I made it already. So for me to ask for help looked weak. I was supposed to have already made it and been rich and wealthy. And I made it harder on myself by not asking for help.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's episode of Disruptors, where millionaires are made. Today we've got Stratton Brown and Dean Rogers, and they flew in from California. Dean's gonna be talking about how he made nearly $500,000 while on vacation, which is pretty remarkable. And Stratton's gonna be talking about how he's gone all in the AI, so he'll never have to hire another human again. Now, guys, I am on a mission to create 100 millionaires. The information on this show alone is enough to help you become a millionaire in the next 5 to 7 years. If you'll take consistent action, you'll become one. And if you're already a millionaire, we want to recognize you here on the show. Please scan that QR code right now on the screen so we can highlight you here. And if you're not a millionaire yet and you want some help, go ahead and scan that same QR code. Now, before we jump in, if you're here to learn how real entrepreneurs are building real empires, hit that subscribe button because every week we're dropping lessons that can create your first or your next million. And our AI lead manager is now live and doing live transfers. So if you guys want to check that out, go to objectionproof.ai and schedule a call with our team. We'll see if we can get that AI lead manager up and running for you guys. So it's been...
You got to put on the hoodie. It has the objection-proof AI instead of Disruptors.
There's no way I'm wearing a hoodie right now.
It's cold in here.
I will be sweating like crazy. So Stratton's already introduced himself. All right. So it's been a couple of years since you guys were here. You came on December 22. We were talking about, at that point, you had started working with some students, doing some joint venture deals, and you were on not that much later talking about call magicians. It's been a couple of years though. So let's talk about like what's changed, because the real estate environment has changed. A lot has changed in nearly 3 years. So what's changed in the last few years for you guys?
Oh man, a lot has changed. We ended up winding down call magicians because I think AI is going to 100% decimate that industry.
Yeah. Well, but that was, I mean, not to get too personal here, but like, that's not the reason why we winded call magicians. We're going to talk about like what's wrong with call magicians if it was still up and running.
It was still like a thing, right? Because like I'd say having a good partnership is key in business. Steve, you've been through it. Dean has a great partner. I think my partnership with Dean is great. That partnership was really tough. And then let's say I was willing to make some sacrifices that the other partner wasn't. Mm-hmm. And then that was a serious point of contention.
Yeah.
And then the writing was on the wall. Like, okay, do we want to keep going it? We had an operator still 6 figures from us. That sucked. And so it all kind of like came to a head. I was like, do I really want to step back into this company? Because it was pretty big. Like I didn't have to do anything in the day-to-day anymore. Yeah. Do I want to step back in and grow it again and like get all these people in place? Because that operator took a lot off my plate. Then I'd have to step in and do that. Like, do I want to do that? No, not really.
So let's unpack that a bit. So, because you came on, because we had launched Disruptor Certified Cold Callers. Right. I mean, this is back when we had Ian was training the VAs.
Oh yeah.
And he was doing groups of 10 or 20 or whatever. He was training them. He was certifying them. Right. So he'd coach them and then make sure they were actually good and absorbing. So you guys were sourcing the talent. He was coaching them up.
Then we'd push them out.
Certify
then we'd still train them twice a week. Well, we train them twice a day. Then we'd still have Ian train them once a week.
Right. So, and I think we were charging basically $1.25 more for like Call Magicians VA versus Disruptor Certified Call Magicians VA, something along those lines, right?
There's like two. It had to be 2 to 3 because I think we were like 10 an hour to 12 an hour. If I could go back, I'd never talk about per hour. I'd just price it out.
Yeah.
Because you don't want someone to grind you out on an hourly cost. I just want someone to grind me out on results.
Right.
Right. And so that's another thing we could have done.
So you had that. And then not much later, things kind of started falling off. So there was, there's the partnership. Sounds like theft.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then, but there was also like a shifting market as well.
And a shifting market.
Yeah. So which of those three you want to unpack first?
Oh man, there's so many great lessons in this. All right. So like in a shifting market, we had customers that we had on receivables and we gave them a lot of leeway.
Yeah.
And then I had tens of thousands, 50,000 plus going to receivables. My payroll alone was $80,000 a month.
So payroll, that is all the VAs. That's
In that company, like alone, like this is just,
That's a lot.
that's a lot. Like that's just staff cost was $80,000 a month.
yeah.
And we let a bunch of money go into receivables and we didn't have insane margins because, right, I'd need to pay Steve, I'd need to pay our team. And because we were at scale, like it was a bigger organization.
How many VAs did you have?
130 was our max.
130. Yeah.
130 was our max. So it wasn't like huge, but it was a big
I would say that's
organization.
huge.
It's a lot of people to manage.
Yeah. So you had 130, costing you $80K a month between everything as far as the payroll.
Yeah, it got higher than that. 80K was like
And then you were granting like, hey, Dean, you're having a slow month. All right, like we'll give you 2 weeks.
yeah, like, hey, they're like, hey, I don't have the money. I was like, okay, like whatever, like we got you, bro. Like, don't worry. And then because we'd have a customer success manager having a relationship with them, like, no, one of our core values is Care 360. We care about our clients.
Mhm.
But then people just fucking disappeared.
Mhm.
And it happened a lot because as the market shifted, it shifted fast for some people. And so we had a bunch more going to receivables. And then
So more people going to receive.
more people going to receivables. And then I'm like, okay, well, I got to really look at this P&L. Because like this isn't adding up. And then I really dive into our P&L and our operator.
Okay, so finances aren't good.
Yeah. So I'm
And
like,
so now we
okay.
have to inspect.
So now I have to inspect. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And I start diving. And I'd monitored payroll, but then what I hadn't known, our operator 2 years before that had convinced us to hire this person to run like the QuickBooks side of things. So yeah, he was really good because like we had between managing timesheets and everything else, like he was our Excel guy. And then we'd have him run our payroll and I would check it monthly. Like, okay, does everything add up? I didn't check it enough because they created fake PayPal accounts to send themselves money.
Got it.
And so that's how they started stealing money.
So they were on payroll again, like bonus payroll.
Lots of bonus payroll.
Got it.
Right. And so that went into that and said, oh shit. Okay. So now I'm out a bunch of money. She was really good at her job before I
Operator.
found out she was stealing from me.
Okay. Where was she at?
The Philippines. Like we poached her off. She was managing like 3,000 people at Alorica. And we started it during COVID and Alorica let go of a bunch of people during COVID. So we got really, really good talent at that point in time. And then we got some really, really good jewelry salesmen from cruise ships who are like in-house trainers too. So like they were really used to selling high ticket. So that's what allowed us to actually scale is because we had quality talent on top of the marketing because we'd actually be able to retain the people. Where was I going with this?
Bonus payroll.
The bonus payroll and everything else. So then Glenn is gone. And it's like, okay, well, I had to write a check into this company a couple times because the payroll was so high, stuff didn't add up, and we didn't prepare for the receivables, stupid Stratton. And then the time came, I was like, hey, so-and-so, Mr. Partner, like, I'm writing in checks. Are you going to write in checks? Like, no, I'm not doing that. I was like, well, bro, these people need to like actually eat. Like, I'm not going to miss payroll. And then he didn't want to do it.
So, character revealing moment.
It's a character revealing moment. And for a situation like that, that showed me a lot about partnerships and dynamics. Because if like I've been doing business with Dean since 2020, and we really didn't have like a formal partnership. We'd just been essentially dating for 5 years. With that partner, I was like, hey, I need someone who's quote unquote an integrator. In all reality, I could have hired on an assistant to put that person in place instead of giving up 50% equity. All of them, like, because your company's culture is so important. If that person isn't aligned with you 100%, it's going to go all bad. Right? So I know with Dean and Lewis, like they're 1-in-1 on culture. They are 100% together. They hold the same standard. If you have a partner who's showing up to a meeting 5 minutes late, you're fucked. Like you cannot hold any type of standard. And so like that had already been happening earlier. And so like, okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But that was the big character revealing moment. But then at that time when as that was happening, we had another company that was starting to do really well for us with the ERC company.
Yeah.
And I was telling you about that.
So you're looking at this situation here. So revenue's down. You're losing money.
Yeah.
And then you find out someone's stealing.
Yeah.
And then you still got to pay people. And now you kind of like at a crossroads where I want to really step back into operations.
Like really step back. And another thing was, all right, I want this company to be at least a $20 million a year company. Like that's where I was at. And I did the math, and the number of employees that I would have to deal with if that company was a $20 million company made absolutely no sense to me. That it was just no good.
Why does it?
If I'm gonna have 1,000+ employees, I better be a fucking Fortune 500 company, bro.
Yeah.
Like that, it would just be so many people in order to, it would be 2,000 to 3,000 employees with everything. So, okay. And like, that was like my overarching goal. Like, all right, I want to get to at least 20 million. I want to get to at least 20 million. And I look at it and like, I know what that looks like. I know the amount of work that's going to go into that. And I really was like, I know the HR problems. I just had people stealing from me. Right. And I just had all that going. I was like, that doesn't sound fun to me. And then I was like, at that point, AI is kind of coming. I see that writing on the wall a little bit. It started to like bubble up. I was like, okay, I'm tired of like losing money on it. I don't want to handle that anymore. We've already made sure everybody's whole. We got everybody jobs, and we just ended up slowly winding it down.
You got everyone placed.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So then I know you want to talk about ERC, but like for you, like this whole time, like you're just seeing Stratton stuff, but like smooth sailing for you?
Or less.
Pretty easy.
I used to think we're on an upward trajectory. Yeah.
So, I mean, for you, like, I know you were already doing you were kicking off. You had students sending you deals. You're doing deals. Again, shifting market. You guys are in California, right? So, like, I know for us, June of 22 will always be forever etched in my mind because
Terrible.
That was like when things got like they changed.
People
really fast.
got caught with their pants down.
Yeah. So like for Phoenix, it was brutal. California, I imagine, was just as brutal because I know San Diego was brutal. Was that the same for you? Because you were doing deals in Fresno,
Central California, yeah.
Central California,
Yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah.
So like, how was your business like?
So to kind of bring you up to speed up until that point. So in 2019, we pivoted our business to focus on wholesaling. Up until that point, we were pretty much only flipping houses. And so 2019 pivoted to wholesaling first, only flipped the deals that made sense, and then start buying rentals. So from 2019 is when we started building an actual rental portfolio, building wealth, started being a lot more intentional about the deals we were doing. And at that time was when I finally started to do business the right way. Not that I wasn't before, but I just had done a couple deals that really knocked me backwards, right? And I talk about this all the time and open about it. And I think it's helpful for people to hear it and know that can be a reality. Beginning of my second year in the business, I rushed into flips in Phoenix, Arizona, and I did all the rookie mistakes: wrong contractor, wrong comps on the wrong side of the street, bought it at the wrong price, held it way too long, everything, and lost over $100,000. And then once I got out of that hole, got into another deal in San Diego, and it was a guy running a Ponzi scheme, and he caught me just wanting to do that next deal, didn't do any due diligence on it, lost $187,000. So all the money I'd made up and been living off of, essentially, been making money through that first 4.5 years, almost 5 years, all the money I had made, I now basically lost, right? I, had little money, made some, lost it all plus some, and then got myself out of that hole, made money, lost all of that. Yeah. So I'm pretty much at, ground zero in my 4.5, almost 5 years into the business. And so pivoted to wholesaling, careful about the flips. And then I started getting coaching because up until that point, I didn't want to raise my hand and ask for help, right? I just still was holding on to that NFL player ego of I made it already. So for me to ask for help looked weak. I was supposed to have already made it and been rich and wealthy, but the reality was I walked away from all the money. So now I'm starting from scratch, and it was hard. And I made it harder on myself by not asking for help, right? We're in circles with people that have done it, do it really well, and we only get better because we're around those people.
Right.
Right.
So let's talk about what you did to get yourself out of the mindset of, I don't need help. Because I know I definitely struggle with that.
Yeah, we all do.
I remember when I first worked at Intel, they had the instructors would come and there's this program, right? And some were like, hey, we're doing this little workshop. It's the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You should come check it out. Right. And I'm like, I already made it. I already have a good paying job. I'm doing well here. Like maybe the other engineers, I don't need it. Right. Like I was definitely not coachable at that moment. And I also had the idea, like I just graduated. Like I already did my education. I don't need education ever again. I'm good. So took a lot of humility, a lot of crushing lessons for me to get out of that. What changed for you to?
For me, it was coming to the realization, and it's almost embarrassing it took me this long to figure it out. Being a sports guy, right? Everyone at this table is a sports guy.
Professional athlete.
Professional athlete.
Basically.
Everyone here is a professional athlete.
Yes. Just to be clear. So we've been around coaches our entire life.
Yeah.
Right? We've been coached by people. We know what a good coach looks like, what a bad coach looks like, and we know that we always got better when we were around a good coach and somebody that knew how to coach the right way. And so for some reason, it wasn't obvious to me. And then the other part was just having to humble myself again, right? I'd just been eating humble pie for a couple years, and it was like, all right, I've had coaches. It seems so obvious, but I'm at a point where I just know I don't want to be here anymore. I've got to get to that next level. I know I'm capable of it. I believe in myself. I just haven't got there. I'm doing the right things, but I've done just a couple things that have held me back. I want to just do it right going forward. So started going, hiring mentors, going to coaching, training sessions or boot camps and all these different things one after another, and continue to do it as much as I can now. And
But if you didn't have those lessons?
If I didn't have those lessons, it probably wouldn't have made me as resourceful or as gritty. But at the same token, I say that because most people that you have sitting at this table have gone through trials and tribulations and had to overcome failures and all those kind of things. But you can still learn from other people's failures and still have your own struggles and challenges, but learn from other people's failures so you can get to where you want to go faster.
Yeah.
Right? I'm convinced that if I did not take the 4.5, almost 5 years of making my own mistakes on my own and had hired a coach and mentor from the beginning, because I know exactly who I would have hired. And I remember having the opportunity to invest in myself. Because I didn't, I wasted the time trying to figure it out on my own. I know that I could have condensed that time a lot faster. I would have been more focused. I would have been able to help navigate those challenges, right? When I tell the story, I tell people I was one text message away from, what do you think about this deal? Well, did you ask this? Did you ask this? Those numbers don't look right. That's all I was just missing that one text message from saving myself hundreds of thousands of dollars and years wasted.
There's a Keon. I don't know if you guys know him. He's been a family mastermind, and I'm in a different mastermind with him. It's a different marketing mastermind. There's this kid in a Discord, right? And this is where I got like one of my favorite phrases. He's like 18 years old, and he's like, I need to figure it out right now. And I was like, you don't need to figure it out. Like, you got time. Like, go make a mess. Go figure it. Like, you'll go screw up. You'll figure it out. His answer was like, I don't have time. Right. And I was like, I tried to help him. I get this DM from Keon. I was like, the hammer of humility is coming for this kid. One of my favorite phrases. Hammer of humility.
I would say you don't have time, though. And I tweeted about this. I talked about you don't have time. And if you take as much time, if you just go, you start listening and you go to another podcast and you go for more coaching and you don't take more action, the person who takes more action will outpace you all day, every day.
Yeah.
And then you will learn more from those mistakes and reiterating on those mistakes. So it's a very, very,
You gotta do both.
you got to do both.
Yeah, I think I don't know if this is valid, but like I remember one guy I mentor, he's like, what's the balance? Like 1 hour. You're not allowed to do more than 1 hour a day. Right? The rest of the day you gotta be doing something. So
Yeah.
Gotta be taking action.
got it. So
But to answer your question, so that's kind of what led up to when we last met, right? And I was probably a couple years, maybe 1.5, 2 years deep of actually doing personal development, getting the right coaching and training, and business going on an upward trajectory. And it was coming out of a season of, I started my first meetup in February of 2020. And that was with the intent of wanting to creating an environment of collaboration and meeting new people, right? That first leading up to starting my first meetup, I was like the Wizard of Oz. I was just doing deals from San Diego in Central California where I grew up and didn't meet anybody, just knew people by the sound of their voice, right? And so that first meetup was great. And when the whole world shut down in 2020, I got to social
even more
media.
so in California.
Got to social media, and I started connecting with people and finding ways to help people with their deals. So you talked about the JV deals, right? We talked about that on the last episode. We did 7 figures in 12 months just from this JV program, and it was on fire. And it really helped us through that time when the market kind of slowed down and people were uncertain what was going on. It poured rocket fuel on our business. And then there was just enough people that I was doing deals with and helping do their first deal, their 10th deal. Stratton and I made a bunch of money together, and enough people just started saying, hey, can you mentor me? Can you coach me? And that was never part of the plan. I just would say, no, just bring a deal and I'll work with you on the deal. More and more people asked. I said, all right, what's the worst going to happen? Now, Strat was a big influencer during this time. Him and I would chat on the phone all the time. We were kind of like loosely business partners doing a lot of deals together. And he's like, dude, you've already proven it. You've already helped a lot of people do their first deal, their second deal, whatever number of deals, and you're good at it. So you should do it. You should mentor other people. So I started coaching in 2022, and over the past couple of years, been doing that and have done it all just from like word of mouth, very organic, no paid marketing. And the community has grown and grown and grown. And then myself, Stratton, Jason Pritchard, we all realized we had meetups that we were doing, that we all were passionate about community and building that in Central California, very much like a lot of the pioneers in Phoenix, Arizona did. And so we got together, we started doing meetups together, and not only has our business grown on the real estate investing side, we were in the same time building community and helping a lot of people get started and grow their businesses.
When did the Yo Chance podcast launch?
That started in 2023.
23. So after
Like 2022, I remember I was snowboarding in Salt Lake, and we had this meeting. Dean's like, hey, bro, we all got to do this together. Let's hop on a Zoom call. Because like I had a meetup, Jason had a meetup, and Dean had a meetup. And me and Jason at that point, we flew out Pacer and Jamil to come do it when they were doing like Pace and Jamil Do America. And that was like our first big combined meetup.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's like 600 people.
That one was like 400, not quite 600.
The next one we did with him, when I got involved with him, we did 600.
Got it. That's the one I remember.
And that one was really big. And then, because Central California isn't huge, bro. And so we would just cannibalize each other. If you threw the same one in the same month, we're not in LA where there's millions of people. There's 1 million people in Fresno County. I don't know how many in like Tulare and Kings and Kern. And so it was Dean's idea, like, hey, let's all just do this together. We can just set it up to where we have a different type of meetup every day, every month. It'll all be easier on us. We'll all be able to collaborate. And that's how it kind of got started. And then I don't even know why we decided to do a podcast, honestly.
Everybody was doing podcasts.
Good reason. Everyone's doing
Steve's
it.
doing a podcast.
Like
Steve's crushing it.
Steve's doing a podcast, bro. We can do a podcast.
We could do a podcast. If Steve
sure
can
do
do
a
it, we
podcast.
could definitely do a podcast.
Sure. So then, so going back to you, I know like while you're doing the Call Magicians thing, you're also doing the ERC thing.
Yeah, we still had 2 other companies, like 3. We
So
still
what were the
had-
companies at that time?
We still had our own education company. We still had our ERC company, and we still had our wholesale company. And then we still were buying storage facilities.
Right. Yeah, because you were talking about storage. You were trying to buy a town, if I remember correctly, last time.
Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable buying the town because he mailed me his ledgers. I was like, I can't trust this, bro. Like
Why?
It was paper ledgers. It was just, and he mailed it to me. And I remember sitting upstairs at my desk and looking at it and saying, we're not doing this. We're not doing it. And I didn't want to have to drive out to the middle of Nevada. I'd have to live in that small town. And then I have to get contractors out in that small town to rehab what I need.
You call it like Strattonville or something. Like,
Daddy Town.
Yeah.
Daddy town.
I think that'd be pretty cool. So anyway,
Mark Cuban just bought a town. One of his buddies from his basketball connection
probably a nicer
had some
town.
health issue.
No one Stratton was looking at.
Paid $1.9 million for this town in Texas.
Yeah. So then you did it. So you were doing the ERC thing. So where did that go?
We got that. We just essentially, I took all the skills that I'd learned through Call Magicians, and I'm just like, okay, sweet. I can just bankroll this, and I'll point it at that. And we raised some money for that. And we got that one to 7 figures in like 8 or 9 months. That one did really well for us. And then the income has just been slowly coming in because they decided to shut down the payments. It is what it is.
Yeah.
The government ran out of money. Everybody knows it.
The government, here's your free money. Oh, wait a second.
Wait.
We're gonna give it to you slowly.
Well, they paid out all the people that did it earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I guess where I'm trying to go with this is like there were a lot of challenges that you experienced.
Oh, yeah.
So what were the other challenges after Call Magicians?
I'd say it came to a point to where that was another company like, okay, well, we still want to bankroll this. We want to throw money at it. But when they shut it down initially, I remember it was like in October. And I knew all the biggest people who were doing this. You had Josh on. And we were like talking to each other and they're like, oh, it's only going to be a couple months. And then like March came. I was like, bro, we've been doing this and I've been like throwing money at this. I don't think these fuckers are fucking turning this thing back on for a minute. I'm going to shut this off. My friend's like, bro, you better shut this off. Because he was doing it with me. And so we shut that off and then we just kept wholesaling. I mean, but it was like, okay, I was talking to Dean about this the other day because in my 20s, I started 11 different companies. And we were talking about like going through the identity crisis.
That's more than one a year.
Oh, yeah. Getting after it.
Getting after it is one way to look
Getting
at it.
after it. Super
Entrepreneur right
unfocused.
there.
You make me look focused.
I know. I've gotten a lot more focused, thank God. But it was just, the biggest thing with all of them was like an identity problem of like shutting one down to where now it's like, bro, if it's not making money and it's not aligned with the goal, just shut it down, take it out back, shoot it, move on, and then we can go find something that is going to actually align with what you want to accomplish in life. It's a business that serves you and it like matches your overall financial goals. Because one thing, especially for the younger people, right? I just turned 30, but in my 20s,
Old guy.
I'm getting old as shit. I'm getting so
What a jerk.
Kiss me out. He almost looks older than us now, too.
He does look older.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm losing my edges, Loki, too. In my 20s, I would chase an opportunity that I thought would be slightly greater or the same, instead of go balls to the wall on something like the Call Magicians thing. Overall, it was like to make $20 million. Okay, I can be okay with that, but you don't want to chase something that's going to make you the same amount of money,
Right.
because I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not. Like, I don't have the bandwidth and I don't have the bankroll to get a C-suite in place to run that company to where it makes enough money to where I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And it's not going to take up my mind space.
It is nice to be able to just hire someone the way he hires. It's like, oh, you're the best.
You're the best in the world? Awesome.
Pay you a lot of money. Come
Yeah.
over here.
Like, let's go do this. To where,
Right.
I mean, and I named
We
out all those
got to go through like Facebook and like take a PI test.
Yeah.
All right, tell me about your track record.
His is already proven.
right? His is already proven.
Yeah.
To where now it's like, okay, just focus. We have our Deal Champs community. We wholesale. We still have our storage stuff. But those are the main things that are just focused. And then the community stuff, it's not, I wouldn't say it's as big of a distraction, because when you look at Call Magicians versus wholesaling, yeah, it's semi the same, but like I was running like an organization on that side. Wholesaling's not quite the same as that.
So let's just real quick for fun, let's go through all the kind of like took out back?
We still do storage. We took Call Magicians out back. I had a social media company.
You had a social media
Yeah.
I was a customer.
Yeah, Dean was a customer.
Okay.
We got that one to like $10,000 a month, and I took it out back and shot it.
Yeah.
We had a mastermind company. We had another education company. What else? I had a home inspection business. Yeah, I had a home inspection business when I first got started. What's another one? I've taken a lot of them out back.
Yeah.
We had a staffing company at a point in time. We took that out back and shot it. Eventually, the ERC thing we knew was only going to be a certain amount of time, but we did still have to wind it down. So like we've had to shoot so many of these businesses.
And a question I have for this is because like I know you've been involved with Mark Evans, right? Mm-hmm. And he's someone that you worked with some time, right? And his thing is about like going big.
Yeah.
Is he the one that got you to stop looking like doing these companies that are similar? Like if it's not going to go big.
He was the one who's like, all right, bro, if we're going to do this dinky little fucking Call Magicians company, let's go to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I would say I exposed myself in that company because I was hiring for growth. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, I don't care. I can bankroll this and take my profits now, throw it back into this company because I'm going for a land grab is what I wanted, is what I was doing. So I was like, yeah, let's go big for it. And then regardless, I would not want to be running that company right now, even if nothing changed. It just wouldn't want the HR issues of having that many employees is no fun.
I remember when you came on, we were talking about, I was like, yeah, there's nothing exciting about running a virtual agency.
No.
You got to manage these people over here. You got to manage these people over there, right? The people that are on your payroll and the people that pay you for those people.
Yeah. And I mean, we were hiring in 13 different countries, bro, like just managing different cultures. Like it was just a lot to where now it's like, okay, we have our real estate stuff that we want to get really big. With the storage facilities, if I buy one a year and we already have the systems in place and I buy one a year until I'm 60, we'll do just fine in retirement.
So you're talking about focus, and we're more focused now, right? But before the show, you're like, Steve, we need to get PTD back.
Oh, I love PTD. PTD was the highlight of my week. Part of the disruption was like the highlight of my week coming up.
Why should we bring it back? Because people that are watching this, maybe they're like, they don't see like the screwed up version of us, like professional version. Why should we bring PTD back?
I thought anybody who's talked to me about like, hey, bro, I saw you on PTD, that is the type of avatar I would want to be in front of and who I would want to care about my opinions. And
Got
like,
it.
To where like Tim Ferriss, if you think about him as an influencer, he's like, bro, I want the people who listen to the All In podcast and the people who listen to TED to care about my opinions because they have more power, more influence, and everything else.
Yeah.
With PTD, bro, I had legit operators coming up to me and all sorts of businesses being like, bro, I heard you on PTD. That was hilarious.
Okay, so you're saying the people that watched it, the people that actually watched it.
The people that actually watched it and were engaged are people I'd want to talk to.
Got it. So this is like
and I'd want to build my network with.
Alex Hormozy changed his marketing, changed his content.
And then changed it back.
Or did he change it back?
Because Hormozy went, I remember when his content first started coming out, I think he's the Messiah. I'm a big Hormozy fan. And it came out, and I was like, bro, this is gold. Like, everything he's talking about is gold. And then he talks about he shifted, and all the people who were, let's say, higher-level operators stopped listening to him because there's like, how to make $1 million if you're broke. And, like, stuff like that. And it moved away from the semi-experienced target audience to just the lower audience who wants to start a business.
All right, 0 to 1.
And so he runs a venture fund and a PE fund, and so he killed off his avatar. His avatar wasn't listening to him anymore.
Right.
And so the people who would listen to me on PTD, they would hear my thoughts, and I go, I like the way that guy thinks. Like, I think I could invest with him. Oh, I like the way that guy thinks. Maybe he could do some consulting. Something like that, to me, is what makes sense. And I love talking shit with you guys. It was like a highlight of my week.
It was fun.
To go on and have fun.
Felt like being in the locker room.
It was.
Yeah, it felt like
the locker
today.
room.
Yeah. What's that?
Kind of felt like pre-podcast today.
Yeah.
Like if we would have filmed that, I think it would be a different look.
In what way?
It's just a different audience.
It's a different audience, different vibe, talking shit.
Because I think so. He changed it back. Or you're saying Hormozy changed it back. So you're saying like who you changed it back to? You're saying like this is who the audience would be. These are people we want to listen to us.
Yeah. If you want to gain a customer in any type of company, you'd want a customer who can pay more.
Got it. Makes sense. Are you as passionate about as he is about PTD?
I like it.
Yeah.
he gets fired up. His personality on PTD is pretty funny.
I mean, I think I can't tie this directly, but I think, N-word for Trump to end every episode probably harmed my YouTube reach. I can't say for sure, but every time I try to run an ad on my channel, I can't. Every time I try to run an ad on my channel, it says this is content is political. And it's like, this isn't political at all.
Yeah.
So I can't say that harmed my YouTube.
But you're pretty sure.
I can't say for sure that it didn't.
We're all about free speech over here. We're all about free speech over here.
Well, I remember we were talking about like Tate, right? Andrew Tate and this and that, right? Like free Tate and all other stuff. So anyway, episode's probably gonna get canceled too. So
Great, guys.
Great.
yeah, good job, Stratton. All right. But then also, I think looking at the things that have changed as well, I know that I got to bump into you at CG. It was last month.
We did.
Right? So, because I want to talk about community and like, not only are you a big believer in like creating a community, but also, you also like believe in finding community because you got
100%.
you guys in Central California. You come out here, and you don't just come out here. You're like, here's a group text, like guys, we're coming to town. Like everyone needs to like circle up and like let's collaborate. So like I think I think that is a big indicator. And then also like we're connected with Trevor, with Carrot.
Yep.
And actually it was funny, like we're doing business together right now, but I wasn't like trying to like sell you anything. So I don't know if you know this story, but like
Probably doesn't.
so like we're all have our slots to talk right at the last
Carrot Summit.
right? And I'm just doing this thing where I'm just basically doing closers Olympics where I'm just like judging the heck out of people, right? So we had two different people. I was like, all right, let's judge these calls. And I did. And the whole time I was doing it, Dean was watching. I was like, this is cool. Like Dean's watching and Dean's commenting. Like there are other people that are commenting too, but Dean's the only name I recognize. So like on the way home, I just call him. It's like, hey, like I just want to say thank you. That's all it was. It just like, I just want to say thank you. Because like you're there and you're supporting me. It wasn't like there's not an agenda. It's like Dean just being I want to highlight it. And then that led to us doing business. So you want to talk about that?
My name is Lance McCann. I have recently switched sessions with Ian Ross. Those conversations with Ian has made me $50,000 in the past 2 deals that I've had. I was able to renegotiate, go back and renegotiate the original purchase price on one deal, and I saved $40,000. And I got another $10,000 off my other deals. Call Ian, give him a chance. You won't regret it.
If you like what you just heard and would like similar types of success, text CLOSE to 33777. And we'll see if you qualify to join objection-proof selling. We're taking good sales reps and we're making them objection-proof.
Yeah. So he was, so we were doing Carrot Summit, right? So I just got done speaking and Trevor said, all right, we're going to go back to the stage with Steve. So I was like, oh, Steve's on. I'm going to watch what Steve's doing. So I go on and watch Steve and he's basically coaching other people in their performance and how their calls went. And so what I really liked about it, what resonated with me is your style of sales, your style of communication is very similar to the style that I naturally like to use when I'm negotiating, when I'm having a conversation with a seller, almost from start to finish. And so because of that, right, there's lots of sales trainers out there, lots of training you can get for your team, in addition to you just doing in-house training, right? So I thought to myself, well, what better than to have somebody who's fully all in on training and doing it at a high level to help train you and your team than somebody who is doing it the way you want them to, right? And so he called me, right? And I told him, that's funny you called me because I was going to actually reach out to you. And so that led to me saying, yeah, we need to do Steve's training. And it made perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
It was a no-brainer for us.
Yeah, so I appreciate you for that.
Real quick, does the world know that you took my last dollar for your training?
They know that from the last podcast we recorded. And you want to share that story again because I wouldn't have taken it.
Steve Trang at a point.
Steve Trang. Steve Trang.
Steve Trang, at a point in time, took every last dollar of my tax return for me to learn from him.
Clear.
On sales.
He went into debt.
It was the best thing I ever did. And it goes into like actually paying for a coach. Because like
What did that do for you?
oh, it changed my life.
Yeah.
Like my entire network, I
Steve
can
Trang changed his
connect
Yeah.
Steve Trang, Kung Fu Master Steve, as I like to call him, changed my life.
Yeah. And again, like if I had known that was your last dollar, I wouldn't take it. But like,
You would have never known.
yeah, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I can pay you some today. I can pay you some in a couple weeks. Like, okay, that's weird, but all right, fine. I'll settle for that. And later on, it's like, yeah, like I just had to wait for my tax return to come back to like, pay for your coach. Like, man, had I known, I wouldn't have said yes. That's just like a personal policy, right? Like, I don't want it to be anyone's like last hope, right? Like,
Exactly.
like you got to have faith in yourself. Like, if you're like last gasp, like, so generally that's a rule that we have. So we're talking about how you did $500,000 on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went on vacation. I didn't do $500,000.
Mm.
Right? I was gone for like 5 days. We didn't have $500,000 revenue. So talk to me about your scenario. What is going on in your business that you're getting paid while you're on vacation?
Yeah. So we talked about leading up to 2022, right? And how things kind of materialized to me being on the right track and doing business the right way and hiring coaches and mentors. And what I learned through the early 2020s, right, is learning better how to run an actual business, how to be a business owner, as opposed to just being highly skilled, thinking you can do the best at everything and that you need to be wearing every hat, right? So I already had a small team at that time, but I started to add more team members over the next couple of years. And what that ultimately allowed me to do is to run a business. And the better that we did and the better I became a leader and learned how to support the team and put things in place, really allowed us to, be able to step out of the business. Now, I'm not a believer in stepping completely out of the business, and I'm not in the position to completely just say, see you later for a year or for years. But as part of the whole plan from the get-go, I've wanted freedom, right? As part of wanting to become an NFL superstar, make a bunch of money, it's because I've always wanted freedom and I've always wanted to be, the highest, best version of myself. And getting into real estate was that next version of that, right? It was what was going to be the next vehicle for that. So that's always been part of the plan. And I've always lived a very, comfortable life, a good lifestyle in San Diego, driving a golf cart, living on the beach, been living a very blessed life, but we haven't like really stretched and really challenged that. And my wife, she's like, hey, we need to, go on some more vacations. And as we started to like unpack that a little bit, she didn't want just a simple vacation. She's like, let's go on vacation for a month, right? And so our first test run of this was in 2024 during the summer. And we went to Europe for a month, okay? And during that time, I'm freaking out a little bit before we go, thinking, well, what's the time zone there? Am I going to have internet connection? Am I going to be able to run my business? And what I ended up learning was things kept working.
Yeah.
And the business kept running. And I was still wearing the last hat in the business. I was still wearing dispo. Okay. So as we're wholesaling deals, I was still dispoing the deal. So I was still actively participating in the business daily, but with small windows of time. Okay. And in Europe time, it was from like 8 o'clock to midnight. Okay. That was kind of prime time during the day here in California. So I proved during that time that I could do that. And during that time, we had made just under $500,000. This is while in Europe for 30 days. Okay. Now we did that on repeat again the following summer. So we just did that. We had 4 kids on that trip to Europe. And we found out my wife was pregnant with our 5th while on the trip. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we just had that new baby in January, okay, of this year. And we told ourselves we're going to go on another 30-day vacation, okay? But we're not going to go to Europe. We're going to take it easy. Europe in 4 different countries, England, Switzerland, Italy, and France, and multiple locations in each country was exhausting with 4 kids. And so we're like, we're going to go somewhere chill. So we went to Kauai this summer. We went for 32 days, and I would wake up in the morning to the sound of the birds chirping in the window at 6:15. I'd do my daily huddle for an hour from 6:30 to 7:30 local time, and I would check out the rest of the day. I had hired my last guy for Dispo, the last position for Dispo before the vacation, and I would literally hang out all day. And we did $500,000, and net was around $300,000 while on vacation, while doing almost nothing. And that was back-to-back months of doing right around $500,000 in June and July of this summer, leading up to the trip and during the trip. And to me, that was like the epitome of, dude, I've made it. Like, this is what I've wanted to have my whole life, and I'm here. Like, I've wanted to have freedom. I wanted to be able to travel. I wanted to be able to give experiences to my family while also making a lot of money. And I'm doing that now.
So let's talk about, I think I heard this at Mark Evans or somewhere else, but it's like, if you had 15 minutes to talk to your team, what's the information you want to have? Right? But for you, it's an hour daily huddle. So what do you need to know? Like, because, I think a lot of people that are listening, they're still maybe in grind season, or like they were wearing 1 or 2 hats still. For you, to be on vacation in that hour, what do you need to know in that hour to know like everything is on track?
For us during our daily huddle, we focus on our KPI scorecard. So we're looking at all the leading and lagging indicators, number of leads. We're looking at the number of qualified leads, the number of contracts. I mean, there's a whole list of different things that we have on there, right? So that's something that we would look at each day and see if we're on track or if we're off track, what we need to adjust. And then we go through all of our escrows every single day, just as an update. And that just gives us the opportunity as a team to problem solve. Because what I found before I was doing daily huddles, I would have an acquisitions meeting on Monday, a team meeting on Tuesday, training on Wednesday, and then another follow-up escrow on Thursday with just our transaction coordinator. And it didn't allow the team to meet frequently enough to really flush out any of the ongoing problem solving that needed to be done, or any new things, or to be very agile and iterative in how we adjust our process and how we adapt to things, or to give feedback on our marketing, all those kind of things. So that daily huddle is really to just share information back and forth with structure so that we're all on the same page. Helps reiterate our culture and why, our purpose, and to keep that feedback loop.
You said it's an hour?
It's really 30 minutes. I'm a long-winded talker, and I like to make points, and I like to really go deep on certain topics. So it'll bleed into 45 minutes pretty often. And then at times, if we have, other things that we want to get into, it might go as long as an hour.
Sure. All right. So then at 30 minutes, what's the agenda?
KPI scorecard and our escrows. That's it. And any other updates or things people want to talk about.
So it doesn't sound like awfully, what's the word I'm looking for? Different than what someone's doing today. So really just becoming more efficient and effective in that time. Is that accurate? Is that fair?
Yeah.
So how did you get to that level? Because again, it's funny, right? You look at business, you look at like common sense, right? It's just when it's like someone say something, it's like, obviously,
right?
But you never did that until they said it.
100%.
So like, what are some of the things that like someone that's listening that you've picked up that allowed you to be able to fit your basically the whole workday into 30 to 45 minutes?
Yeah. So to answer that exact question, the only reason I have the awareness to do those common sense things is a little bit that I picked up from the corporate days.
San Diego Chargers?
Not the San Diego Chargers, corporate days. But even from sports as well. I mean, for sure. I said no, but the reality is a lot of just having structure and discipline comes from sports fundamentally. But the reality is once you start going into these different communities and investing in yourself, into this mentor and this coach, you start picking up the habits that they have and the structure that they have and the processes that they have. And you start to be able to formulate your own that works for you and your business the way you want it, and build your own version of that. And so we just talked about meeting at another mastermind outside of Deal Champs that I invested in with my partner on, and we've been spending our time and effort and energy in amongst other masterminds that we're a part of while I was on vacation in Hawaii, right? Making the money that we did, going on hikes all day, going to waterfalls, in the ocean, at the beach all day, every day, eating acai bowls, doing all that stuff, invested in another mastermind, right? To learn about something very specific that my partner and I want to invest in.
Yeah.
And so at this point, it's about speed of information and access to a mentor that can help you so you can get where you want to go faster, because trying to do it on your own just doesn't make sense anymore. You don't need to do it the hard way. There's people that are willing and able to help you, and they're going to help you get there faster, probably do even better and get better results, and just minimize the mistakes you make.
Yeah. And it's probably one of the reasons why you guys have the Deal Champs community.
100%.
Yeah. So then what does someone get? Like if they're in the Deal Champs community, like you get access to all this information? Like what does someone get in joining it?
You get access to all of it, Steve. What type of question is that?
Well, like,
it's common sense, Steve.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Ask a question like that. So
I apologize. All right. So like because last time he just gave his number. I could just call Stratton at any time.
Yeah. No one called him though.
Hey. We're selling something, and if they called my phone number, I made money. So why not give away your phone number on the biggest podcast?
This is the biggest.
Yeah.
This is the biggest.
The biggest.
You got to do the hand gesture. For those of you guys that are listening, there's a gesture, right? Huge.
But to answer your question, what are people getting, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to get training and information on how to do it, right? The how to do it is very important. And there's so much information on how to do it out there. So it can be very confusing for someone that's trying to learn it on YouTube University, because there's conflicting strategies and different ways to do it. So how can I be very focused? The same reason why while I was on vacation 2 months ago, I invested because I wanted to have a very streamlined, focused way to do it and not learn how to do that 10 different ways on YouTube. Yeah. So the how-to is very important. It's very focused and get you dialed in, right? So that's step one. The next step is the mentorship and having someone to lean on to help you through the problems you're going to face. Because daily, weekly, monthly, you're going to come up against something that you're not sure what to do. And the same reason why I should have invested in a mentor when I got started, and being able to be one text message away from answering my simple problem or my difficult, complex problem, is what holds a lot of people back.
Let's give an example of this. So the other day, shout out Gio Biggers. What's going on, Gio? Gio, another former athlete. He played football at UNC. He finished last year? Mm-hmm. He finished last year. And so he throws into the community chat, hey, the seller's saying X. What should I do? Dean throws an opinion. I throw an opinion.
By the way, while I was on a staycation in San Diego, went to a resort with friends on a Thursday. We were there on a Thursday or Friday. It's Thursday morning. Gio puts in there, and I say, well, did you ask the seller, or did you say this to the seller? Right? And it was something simple as the seller had basically said, hey, I want $10,000 more. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, why don't you say, okay, I'm looking at a few other properties and I'm looking to make a decision today. If you can stick to the same offer I made yesterday that you agreed to, then I can move forward. Otherwise, I may move forward with these other opportunities. He said just that.
Done.
She said, cool, let's do a deal.
Yeah.
And stuck to the price they had agreed to the night before.
And that was a text message. So like he sent that message. We all respond. He gets a message back in 5 minutes and he gets the contract signed. If you're by yourself.
What did he say to the group?
He's like, this is exactly why I joined this group. Mm-hmm. Because I know now I have a community I can lean on and my questions can be answered Because like if you are just like, let's say out on your own in the darkness and you're trying to solve that and you say the wrong thing, well, now instead of waiting, like shout out our boy Austin Rutherford. Austin took 18 months to get a deal. We were just doing a pod with Nick. Nick said he was like 9 months.
Nick Perry, 11 months.
11 months, 146 in-person appointments. 104 to get a deal. Nick
Perry.
Nick got his face kicked in. I didn't know he was that bad.
11 months to get his
I
first.
know he's that bad.
He's going in there spitting on people's faces, bro. Like that's so many appointments.
Yeah.
Or you can send off a text message and your problem is solved instantly. And you need a contract signed and now you can go make 20 grand.
Yeah.
Like just two completely different things. And that's why you want to be in a community or you have someone in your life who can actually help you with those things.
Well, I think one of the key here is like, not only are you guys in the business, not only are you guys investing yourselves, but you guys are also like connected. Like there's really not a question I could ask you guys that I couldn't even get an answer for. That you guys you guys have the answer or you guys can get the answer.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we don't talk about this a lot, but like, you know, you and I will call each other and just like, hey, I'm thinking about this.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? Right. You're talking to me about some venture capital stuff. Right. I'm talking to you like, hey, I'm raising some capital. This is what I'm thinking about doing. What are your thoughts on this? And you ask me the questions that get me to reflect like, hey, am I thinking about the right thing? Right. So it's not like, so when I call you, it's not even necessarily to like answer my question. It could also be at times where like, well, are you thinking about this? What would you do if you did this? So getting me to consider things that weren't even in my perspective, things I weren't even considering. But when you ask me these questions, like, oh yeah, now that I'm thinking about this, what I'm asking you about here doesn't even really make sense anymore.
Yeah.
Strat's a really good person to talk to. Him and I will just have long, drawn-out conversations, just thinking through things and talking about ideas, and has helped me many times make decisions or think through things. And, you know, being able to lean on a mentor like that. And then the last step to Deal Jam's community is the community part, right? Being able to have a community of other people, not just you and the mentor, but other people going through similar experiences that you can collaborate with, do deals with, that you can help inspire and motivate each other, right? Lift each other up.
But so like everyone in the community has our phone numbers and they can text me anything they want personally that they need help with. But I always say throw it in the community chat because someone probably just doesn't want to ask, but they need help with the same thing. I'll answer it here and I'll answer it in the community chat.
Yeah.
But that's what the community is there for. It's no different from like your daily huddle. It is group teaching. Like someone went through this problem on a sales call, on our daily huddle. Dean's coaching them up on that sales call. So now all three of our sales reps learned because we were all there present solving your one problem.
Right.
So now if you're in that community, someone asks a question, oh, wow, I didn't even know about that. Awesome. So now it's going to come up. I promise you it's going to come up, this one situation. Someone's going to remember what happened to Gio. They're going to say that, and they learned just from being inside of the community. Or they can call up someone in a different area like, hey, I'm struggling with this deal. Or we have an 18-year-old who's crushing it, Isaiah. Like, hey, how do I door knock? And all he does is door knock pre-foreclosures. And he can help you out there. Like, we have so many different aspects you can learn from in that community. And then people are now doing deals with each other, which I think is awesome. Because now you got a bunch of people creating their own financial freedom inside the community and learning from each other.
One thing that we always talked about on Part in the Disruption was like what advice you give. And my advice was always pretty consistent, which was find your tribe.
Yeah.
Always like find your tribe, right? Like, so for here, you know, looking from like 2018 until maybe like 2021, right? I mean, it was me, Pace, Jamil, Brent Daniels, Rafael Cortez, Carlos Reyes, if he wasn't too busy, right? And then who else was there? But we had like a lot of people.
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse, Annie, Evo, right? Like we had this, and Brian Apples, like we had this tight-knit tribe. And I've talked about it every once in a while, but not a lot, was like, not only were we comparing notes in our wholesaling business, we were also comparing notes as we were growing our other businesses.
Yep.
Right? So like Brent is doing, you know, he's blowing up on Instagram, right? While he's doing that, and Pace is obviously blowing up on Instagram, but I'm doing the podcasting thing. but like we were all there to support each other when Pace launched sub 2. Right? I still remember his 24-hour YouTube craziness, right? So like this tribe is what helped all of us grow. So like I love what you guys are doing because you got to find your community, you got to find your tribe because there's nothing scary than trying to do this alone. Like you've ate a lot of crab sandwiches. Yours were worse than mine.
It wasn't even a lot of crab sandwiches. I was doing a lot of deals, doing good deals. It was just big crab sandwiches, just a couple of
gigantic ones.
They were nasty.
Yeah.
And it was unnecessary.
And I went through, right? Like what I figured out was if I had just had a different mentor earlier on, I wouldn't struggle through 07, 08, 09 as a realtor, right? I could have gotten into bigger opportunities earlier if I had the right mentor. Yeah.
You could have been in some insane opportunities.
Yeah, I'd be retired by now, right? But I was trying to figure things out on my own because I was too good to be coached.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I say all the time, you got to find your tribe. So the other thing, you're talking about an intentional business. Was there anything else you want to add as far as like building an intentional business?
Your business doesn't need to look like someone else's business. It needs to serve you and whatever you want to accomplish.
What does that mean?
Let's say there's some dude who has a sales team of 15 people. He has 9 dispo reps and he's running and gunning and he's going for the moon and that's awesome. But it's okay if you just want to, like I have 3 employees. I work 2 hours a day. I make $50,000 a month and then we buy a rental every other month.
Yeah.
It's what serves you.
Mm-hmm.
But you created something that's given you true freedom and you don't have to report to the man anymore. You don't have to go work at Intel anymore, right? Now you feel safe. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. You can spend more time with your kids. Me and Dean are both big on spending time with our families. Like I walk my son to school every day. I miss his field trip today. I feel terrible. But like that is what it's all about, is letting the business give you what you want actually out of life. And that's a lot of mentorship too. And we've talked about this. Of like, Stratton, okay, you say like all these things, but like let's really dial it down. What are we going for?
Yeah.
When you can get clear on that, then you can have that business serve you in an even better way.
Well, I know there's been multiple times. You might have experienced this, or maybe you know the schedule better, where I'll call you and I get a text back. Like, I'm with Zeno.
Yeah.
I'm with Zeno. Like, I can't talk to you right now. Which is like respecting like boundaries. You set the boundaries and like cannot talk right now because I'm with my kid. So anything you want to add to that as far as intentional business?
Yeah, I mean, Strat said it perfectly. You got to figure out what works for you, because you could set up your business to be in the office, grinding your face off, out of the house before anybody's up, back while everybody's asleep. I've never wanted that. Some people say I'm crazy for working at home. Like if I were to go work at an office right now, there's parts of me that would love that. But the part I would be sad about is not seeing my kids throughout the day, being able to be at home. Like that's what I want. I want to be around my kids.
And he's a great dad. I'm going to cut him off. This dude, we will have calls and he's holding one kid, playing catch with another kid, and then we're talking deals or like talking business.
Yeah.
Like when he closed one of his biggest deals that month, whatever it is during the summer, he's changing diapers. We're in the middle of a meeting. The little girl just can't hold it together. And he just figures it out. But like, that's what business is about, right?
Yeah.
Because you get all those memories with your family. And he's way better than me at it. Because I'm like, all right, I have to be very strict with time with Zeno. Because like during the day, like, hey, Buck, come give me a hug. But like, I'm really not trying to talk, bro. I'm trying to like get something done.
Yeah.
Where he will just carry all 5 kids on his back, close some deals, and keep it pushing. And I just can't.
I'm more like you. I got to be in the office. I can't
switch.
I can switch at work, right? I can switch like, hey, we're talking about finances. We're talking about a problem employee. We're talking about moving a deal. We're talking about, hey, you need to put out this fire. I can do all those things.
Yeah.
But I can't go from family mode to work mode to family mode.
I'll give you an example.
And he's great.
So literally today, we just closed on a deal that we're keeping as a rental. Okay. Now, this deal accidentally came to me. Okay. It was like an old business listing that had an old Google Voice number that forwards to my cell phone. It was very fast. And so this deal came through, it was last week?
It was like last week.
I think it was last week on Wednesday. Okay. Last week on Wednesday, or no, it was 2 Wednesdays ago. So 2 Wednesdays ago, I get this call on my phone and I'm sitting at the table and I'm eating some yogurt and I'm feeding my daughter some yogurt, my 8-month-old daughter, kid number 5. And I see this call come in and just something told me I needed to answer it. It's like, okay. So I answer the phone. Hey, this is Dean. Hey, this is Tim. And anyways, we get to this conversation. I find out, oh, it's a seller. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, should I pass this to my team? And something told me I should just stay on the phone and talk to this guy. It turns into a 42-minute conversation. Okay. Now, during this, it's in the middle of the day. I'm feeding my daughter and I make the decision. All right, we're just going to make this work. So I'm at the table and I'm just having a conversation with the guy, going through the script and everything while, feeding my daughter and everything. And the kids are off in the living room playing around and stuff. And I ended up talking about integration. I ended up transitioning halfway through the call to go to my office because one of our Deal Champs community calls was starting, our Q&A call on Wednesdays. And so I ended up starting our Q&A call while I was still on the phone. And my wife had just come back home and she took over the kids. And so I'm continuing this call with the community listening to it live. And they got to see firsthand me closing a deal. And so it's this 42-minute call, great conversation, rapport is a 10 out of 10. And I set up everything for the close. And basically I call them back and, close it in 15 minutes. And it was just a perfect example of how can you integrate this business into your life and make it work. I've mostly integrated it by setting it up so I don't have to be on the phone.
Yeah.
Right. Talking about intentional business. I used to be wearing every hat, and I used to be getting calls in the middle of dinner, late at night, anytime during the day. And that just wasn't working anymore. Right. My wife was frustrated, like, hey, you're taking all these calls in the evening and then you got to work through the deal. And what about family time? And we need to start some boundaries. And it was like, okay, I need to have structure. I need to hire people. I need to make this work for me and my family and my life. And so that's what I mean by being intentional about it.
Got it. And then somewhere along the way, you decided you didn't want to hire humans anymore.
We talk a lot about AI. I think Steve's AI is the best. We are a customer. We've implemented them a lot. I showed Dean what I made. Very proud of it.
I was very impressed.
Very proud.
We just,
very proud.
Again, talking about us just talking about stuff and Strat being a good guy to talk to. We were talking. He's like, you know what? Can you jump on Zoom right now? Let me show you what I got. And so he just showed me what he has built out in AI right now and using your lead manager. And I was like, wow, this is really impressive.
It's here. The AI stuff is here because right now we have all of our AI texting going, and that is essentially automated from text message out. We're working on getting the data piped in correctly just because we don't have APIs the right way, so we have to build it all the way until a lead is qualified, all with AI. So that's super nifty. And then now all of our inbound leads, if we don't have a rep available, our AI will call it immediately. And so that is going to come, and it's not just going to stop with calling, right, on just lead management. Nick thinks in the next 24 months, it'll handle a full sales cycle.
Oh, wrong.
You think it will be shorter?
He's going to say shorter. I just know it.
You think
I can see it in his face.
12 months, 6 months?
If Sam Altman did everything that he promised in the GPT-5 launch, we could do it this year. So really, it comes down to what GPT-5 is, the promise of GPT-5 and then the reality of GPT-5.
It's not like that, bro.
It's not the same.
It's not.
Right? But if it could do everything he promised, we could do it right now.
All right. And I think right now, if you are we're down here and we're probably doing 6 pods. We're doing 6 pods. If you are not implementing AI into your business, you're going to be homeless in the next 6 years. It's just kind of the way it is. You'll go broke. It is so good.
I also think it's sooner than that too.
It is so good. I was at a conference the other day and I called Steve. I was like, Steve, we got 6 to 10 years to really make some money, because after that, AI is going to be making a lot of things a lot easier for a lot of people with a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if you got to implement it now, the biggest thing, we've always been virtual with everything we do wholesale wise, but now we can have leads automatically qualified. I know Nick was talking about, and we're looking into this. He's cut his HR team down from 4 actual people down to 1 person. We don't have as big an operation as Nick, so we could probably just run it all with AI, right? So we have that, all of our comping, AI, and now our lead management, AI, inbound, outbound. The next thing would be like Dispo.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we want to talk about time freedom, that's a lot of time freedom because now I'm not managing people.
Yeah.
Right? You'll have, instead of having to have 10 employees, you could really have 3. And that is a lot easier to manage than 10. And so that's what I'm so excited about that we're implementing day over day over day, is just how can we implement AI right now to honestly make my life better. I want to make our life better.
So the one thing I think is hardest is to replace the dispo side, right? Because I think that is relationships. If we're trying to maximize, if time's more important, then you don't have to maximize.
I don't
the
think
revenue.
Trying to maximize. I do agree with that aspect.
Yeah, if you're trying to maximize the revenue, I think you can't get rid of the human. But if you're trying to be like without humans,
because you could
scale.
You could still obviously automate the whole highest and best.
I'd only say first
by
touch
this
point.
time.
First touch point would need to be relationship wise, right? And you manage, those relationships. But after that, if the trust is there, the trust is there.
I'll have to agree with Steve. I mean, I think this goes for anything. If you're looking even on the sales side, what's going to get you the best deal? You said maximize.
Yeah.
We're putting it in that context. If you want to maximize the best deal on the front end, you want to maximize the best deal on the back end when you're dispoing it for real estate investing. There's just that human interaction that's going to get to another level. Now, obviously, AI is talking about being trained to be able to be very empathetic and be thoughtful, and
we've got that part taken care of.
All of those different things.
So I think we maximize revenue. I think we're still going to need to on dispo side because we had like Jamil, right? Like Jamil was my point.
Jamil's biggest bottleneck was relationships.
Yeah, like he was. If there was anything, and that was his bottleneck, because like he couldn't offload me to someone else at Keekley.
No,
he couldn't. Right? Like if I got a deal,
I want Jamil. I want Jamil. I don't want you. I don't want to talk.
Right? And like he tried multiple times. Like, hey, meet this guy, meet Alex, meet Kevin, this and that.
It's hard.
When I had a deal, Jamil, what are you paying? He's like, talk to this guy. I was like, I know you said talk to this guy. Jamil, what can you do?
But
right?
Then you can save like relationships. But I look at it as a machine, and now, okay, like the outputs, I may not be making as much on a deal, but now I really have inputs and outputs that I could just throw money into, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I know I'm making 20%, and there's no friction. And I can just upload everything we need, and it runs. And I don't really care about absolutely maximizing it.
Well, this is kind of like virtual versus face-to-face, right? Like,
yeah,
you're going to make more face-to-face, but how many can you do virtually?
Mm-hmm.
And with AI, we can really get virtual. So we did a webinar earlier today, and the question was like, someone asked, like, you know, what do you see the future then if we can do this without people at all? It's like,
terrifying.
I think like New Western could just buy every house, right? Like someone like them, because they got the marketing budget, they got the data, they got the resources, everything. They know everything about everybody. You just flip on a switch and just buy everything virtually.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't need humans to maximize every deal. If you could just do a lot.
If you can just do volume and it's easy, and I don't really have to worry about it, and then we have someone sitting at a computer checking it, like for our AI automations with your stuff.
Yeah. I
have someone looking at Manus every day. Like make sure it doesn't mess up the script for one reason or another.
Yeah. So talk about it. Like, I want to hear how you're using our tool exactly, and then I want to hear like how you're using Manus. If you're a real estate investor with a sales team and you're stuck babysitting reps instead of growing your business, this is for you. Right now, your reps are burning through your expensive leads like they're practice dummies. They're making costly mistakes you won't catch for weeks, and 70% of your potential revenue is walking to competitors because of inconsistent follow-up. That's why over 130 operators are now using objectionproof.ai to automatically review every single call within minutes, train reps with AI roleplay sessions, and never miss another follow-up. Stop watching your competitors pull ahead while you're trapped doing manager work. Click the link in the description and book a call with my team to see how we can help you install a self-managing sales team this week.
So a company came to me for consulting last year, and then they ended up going, it was a completely different thing. Then they ended up just like breaking out the partnership, and they were a PPL company that provided leads to PPL companies. And they had 8,000 leads. And they're like, just take the 8,000 leads.
Michael?
possibly.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his name publicly.
Okay.
But that is something that we're going to implement.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, all those 8,000 leads with AI, I don't want to hire on someone to do that. We can just put it on. Let's let it run.
Yeah.
That's a really easy one. And we can set that up with Manus. Right now with Resimply, we had to come up with a little bit of a workaround. And I think I'm going to have it call both times because we still have South African sales reps. And then, so now we have to, Steve helped me build on Zapier. We have to, it's designated by a tag is what it has to set it up. And so now we have Manus go in and it'll sort by whatever new leads come in. And we have 3 different Manus automations. And so for we have our new leads, our no contact leads, and our 7 days of hell. And so we have 3 different automations for those. And so Manus will go through and remove and add a tag every 3 minutes. And when you add that tag, the AI will make a call. And so now, just every 3 minutes across all of those, it's just making calls all day for us. And we don't have to do anything. And we just have to have someone monitor it. And that's the one kink I'm working out because maybe it stops because it messes up a time zone or something. Because we have it stop at 5 p.m. PST because that's 8 Eastern Standard. We do nationwide.
Yeah.
So that's how we're implementing your AI right now. And then we have another AI texting software that's a full-fledged texting bot, shout out, Data Syndicate and Closure Control. Data Syndicate is our data provider for that one. We get counties all across Florida, some in Tennessee, and then in Texas. And we get tons of probate, lit penance, pre-foreclosure, all the typical niche stuff. We have a VA that uploads it all because I couldn't get Manus to tag it all correctly because there's so many different files. But don't worry, it'll come. It'll be finished pretty soon. And then the AI will text it, email it. If they text back, the AI will set a full-fledged conversation, set an appointment on our sales rep's calendar. And then as soon as they move it, the AI will move it in Closure Control. And then from there, it pipes it over to Resimply, and our AI still calls it to get it on the phone.
So, yeah, you're definitely all on AI. Where are you studying, learning, picking up all this stuff?
Nick honestly had some really good content today, podcasts he's listening to. I just listen to podcasts and I just go play with stuff if I see something on TikTok. TikTok is the devil's drug, honestly. But I follow a lot of AI pages.
Yeah.
And I'll go and I'll mess with stuff, or I'll call you. I went to the All In Summit just to kind of see what's going on in the business world and AI and everything else. But I'd say podcasts, talking to friends, and then it sounds so stupid, but there's some really, really niche TikTok pages that I follow where hey, here's what I'm building. This is really cool.
Yeah.
And I'll look at those.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, for me, it's mostly just Twitter.
I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on AI Twitter. I need to be. I'm more on Twitter.
Yeah. I should probably be on those too. But yeah, I'm on, there's a few different people, but I'm just getting the latest. Here is what is happening today. Here is the announcement today, right? And then you see the goofy stuff, Saturday, Tesla Optimus is learning Kung Fu, right?
Zeno loves that though, because Zeno wants to.
Yeah.
Is that their bot? Their robot?
Because it's Tesla Optimus and then Figure are the two big.
I don't know if that's
robots.
a good thing.
Well, I'm gonna get a bunch of Optimus bots, so that's all I know. Right? I'm gonna teach it my Kung Fu.
I believe it.
Kung Fu Master
best.
Steve.
It's gonna be the best Kung Fu.
We were just talking about the guardrails, though. It might not let you teach it Kung Fu.
The guardrails are crazy. So listen to this. So me and Zeno and Kalani, we watched this show called Alone. Have you ever heard of it? It's on Discovery Channel.
Okay.
Where they essentially drop 10 people off in a remote place with 10 items, and they're like, hey, whoever survives the longest gets $500,000.
You're an Optimus.
But all these people have to do stuff, and so Zeno's been getting outdoorsy. And we have an orange tree in our backyard. That fucker's eating our oranges. There's a squirrel coming back here and eating our oranges. We got to set a squirrel trap. And I asked ChatGPT to hey, how do I make a squirrel trap? And it said I can't do that. It's against community guidelines or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But that's terrifying.
The community guidelines component.
I mean, I just wanted to set a squirrel trap.
Well, I don't know. It's
But YouTube fed me tons of videos.
There's limits, right? To printing 3D guns, right?
Yeah.
Have some guardrails. I don't know what they are. You gotta have something.
But we were talking about imagine what has no guardrails that Sam Altman uses.
Oh yeah. he's gonna be the one who's gonna try to rule all of us. So then where do you see this your business then, like 6-12 months from now, with everything you're implementing AI? Like, you see like a large quantity volume business? Where do you see this going?
Volume, if we can.
Yeah, I see volume as an option. I think I was going through it with Strat, and that's what led us to our conversation, him jumping on Zoom and showing me what he had. I was evaluating my business and the number of leads we had, and basically the leads that needed to be followed up with.
The leaky bucket for some businesses will be eliminated.
And to me, I was just, wow, there's a real huge opportunity here to just seal up all these little cracks and get everything even more dialed in with AI.
Yeah.
And by doing that, it'll just help our results, right?
So here's where I struggle, and go back to focus, right? It's like, I should focus on everything on building out this AI company, doing that alone.
But
part of me, that's like, give me, like, someone's like, if I had someone's like, all right, they'll give me a piece of their company, I don't have to do any operations, and I just AI everything in their business, right? See how big we can scale that business. Part of me that wants to do that.
I think there's an opportunity
I
there.
think we're both very susceptible to being distracted about things.
I know, that's why I say, like, I got to focus, but sirens are calling.
That one's a decent siren. It could be explored depending on revenue.
That's legitimate.
Yeah.
Depending on revenue. But I think you're in such a big land grab moment to where if you fuck up at all, some kid out in Silicon Valley is just going to eat your lunch, and then essentially all this work was for nothing.
I know. So I didn't even ask this earlier. Someone wants to find out more about the community. How do they find out about it?
You can just go to dealchamps.com. Yeah, so you go to dealchamps.com. There's more information on there. You can apply, see if it's the right fit for you.
Yeah.
And then we personally jump on a phone call with you, see if it's the right fit.
Is everyone like a former athlete?
No.
You have to be a ball player. Yeah, you got the San Diego Chargers.
Athletes attract athletes, though.
San Diego Chargers, Seattle Seahawks. Kind of.
Thanks for throwing in the kind of. You know how I feel about claiming that. Well, so have we told you the story about a guy who goes around claiming he was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're basically a Seattle Seahawk.
Yeah, so I'm basically Camp Chancellor.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
I like Richard Sherman more. I'm basically an ASU basketball player. Basically.
You got the jump shot.
Yeah.
You got the Cavs.
I was telling somebody back when I used to play at ASU, right? I would say that. And they're like, you played at ASU? I mean, like, I was on campus. I was playing basketball at ASU. Factually.
You did play there.
I did play there, right? I did play in the arena, right? So technically I played at the Suns arena, but that was for a charity event. Actually, where I played with Carlos, right? When they had that.
That's right. You guys did play there.
I wanted to have a basketball tournament down here, and Dean didn't want to. I wanted to hoop with all the real estate people.
That's a great idea.
I have a rule.
This is a great idea.
I thought it was a great idea.
Give me another 4 months what doctor says, give me another 6 months.
I have a rule. I don't want to play with people that I know. Because when you play with people, let's just say we get a mastermind together.
Mm-hmm.
All these super highly competitive people, most of them are not athletes at a high level. Most of them. Most. The three of us. Excluding the three of us at the table. Most of them played high school sports, right? And probably good at them too. A lot of people that are good at sports do well in business. But when you get around people like that are highly competitive, and then they know you played sports at the highest level, they want to show you what they got.
Yeah.
They want to show you that they're better. They want to come and undercut you when you're playing basketball. They want to hack-a-shack you and try to chop your arm off when you're going up for a layup. That's how you get hurt.
Dean has no sauce.
So I want to play with the gym rats who know how to play, who aren't out there trying to prove a point, who aren't trying to hurt people.
Carlos is still upset that I don't let him finish layups. He's
Pretty
still
rude.
That's honestly rude.
That's pretty rude.
That's pretty rude.
You think so?
Be a man, Steve.
It was. Fouled him.
I mean, but like, you technically only have 5 fouls.
Yeah, you'd be ejected like in the first quarter.
Yeah, bro. What are you doing?
Out of the game.
But I would get like my money's worth, right?
I mean, if you have a vendetta against the man, Jesus.
No, You just don't give up and once. You just don't give up and once. I don't know what basketball you guys grew up with.
I mean, but it's Carlos'
think-
job to finish that layup. Because, like, if you try and foul me on a layup, I'm going to finish.
I think you're younger. So how old are you?
37.
37. See, I grew up with like Bulls and Celtics, right? Like you didn't finish layups. So if you came in the key, you better came in with authority.
I do.
So yeah, I'm saying that's what you got upset with me for. I grew up with 80s basketball, 90s
That was
basketball.
an era where they just punished you.
Yeah. Didn't grow up with the LeBron James, James Harden, right? Like if you breathe on them, you get free throws.
Yeah.
That grew up in that era. So anyway, I want to, so wrapping up here, thinking about like the last thoughts, like you want to leave all the listeners with, because I love the message here, right? Finding a tribe, building a community. I'll go with you first. What are some last thoughts you want to leave all the listeners with?
I think the important thing that I like to talk about with people is just figuring out what you want, right?
Mm.
And if you want freedom, you want to create a business that sets you up to live the life you want to live, that's the way that we've run our businesses. That's the way we've set things up, right? So obviously you've said it, find your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's essential. And whether it's Deal Champs community or another tribe, like go find your tribe, because there's no reason to try to do it on your own. I try to do it that way. I've met a lot of other people too. It's just so painful. It's so painful. It's so lonely. And it's just unnecessary. And a lot of people think, like, because I had the sports mentality of like, I can do it myself. I'm self-sufficient, all those kind of things. Like I can do it myself, roll up my sleeves and do the hard work. Right. And you can just learn from somebody and do it so much faster.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, I don't want to invest in myself. I'm okay. I don't need it. Right. Would you say you're too good for it or something like that?
I've paid my dues.
Yeah.
I've done it.
It's like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I got it. What are they really going to teach me? But the reality is that you investing in yourself is going to be substantially more of a return than if you just try to do it on your own,
Yeah.
right? The cheesy Warren Buffett quote is, the best investment you can make is in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me too long to figure that out. And I was also that stubborn person that was like, dude, like I can just chat with anybody and get this information.
Mm-hmm.
It's on YouTube.
Right.
So yeah, the biggest lesson I learned was just to invest in myself earlier on. So it's my call to action for everybody to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it took me 4 years before I got my first coach. And even then, like there was still a lot to grow, but 4 years wasted, lost,
Gone.
This year alone, I've invested in myself. My partner and I invested in ourselves and our team 5 times.
Yeah.
Right. And spent a lot of money to do that. But what do we get in return? I mean, substantially more than that.
Absolutely.
So
I would say you want to find your tribe and you want to be in a tribe of winners, right? Because I'd say the biggest thing that's helped me over the last couple of years is me, Dean, and Jason. I've spent more time with you guys than I think my friends, right? But then it's elevated the way I've done business because they've all been so high level. I've been in a group that has pushed me to do more. And like, if you are not doing a certain amount, you just have to raise your level. And that's what being a part of the right community does for you. Right. And same thing happened when I came out here and we did that one mastermind with like all of the biggest people in real estate on the West Coast at that time.
Yeah.
That just shot me up to another level of thinking.
Stratton was the only one that was investing with what I was doing. Right. But like Stratton was in this room. Like if you guys listen to this, right? Like, so Pace Morby, Jamil Damji, Jess Burrell, Ivo Dragunov, Grant Daniels, Ryan Pineda, Casey Ryan, and Matt Larson.
And Carlos.
And Carlos and Sal. Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
It was an insane. And I think Jared Vidalis was there too.
Oh, yeah. Jared was in that room. Yeah.
Alex Saenz, like the amount, and Cortez.
Yeah.
Like the amount that I got exposed to at that point in time, they're like, hey, get up, what's your share? I was like, bro, you guys want to learn how to tackle something? Like that.
Right.
I'm a year
But
out of football.
that was a mastermind that I was charging $2,000 a month to be in. And not a lot of people were like wanted to pay in it. But I think you would say that was a pretty good room to be in.
Oh, bro, that was one of the best rooms I'd been in. And at that point in time, and I slept on this so much, the biggest point of emphasis in that room was you need to build your brand more. And this is back 2019, late 2019.
This is 2020 because this is actually in the middle of COVID.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, it was earlier than that. It was earlier than that because I went to dinner with Larson. I wouldn't have been able to go to dinner with Larson if it was during COVID.
I want to go back. This was actually, you're right. This was right before COVID because we did
It was like
another one right after COVID.
It was like fall 2019.
It was 2019. It was end of 2019. You're right. It was end of 2019 because I remember that was the funny thing about that event was that it was a football's distance from like my very first office. It was like I remember being like how far I've came from being like this idiot realtor hosting this event with these crazy people.
That's
in
cool.
the room.
And so if you, whatever you can do as a young entrepreneur, you want to get yourselves in rooms like that and in the right communities of people who think the same way you do, who are ambitious, because you'll get driven to think that you're crazy because you want more for your life and you're not. You're just around the wrong people. I want to make fuck tons of money and that's completely okay. And I want a better life for my family and that's completely okay. I'm around people who want the same thing out of their lives and who are doing more than me, who can help guide me to get there to make my life look like the way their life looks like right now.
Last thing I'll leave, because I support everything you guys are doing and everything we talk about finding your tribe and this and that. The last thing I'll say is like being in the right room, it opens your mind and gives yourself permission to have the success. Because what you're talking about here is like, don't feel bad because your friends don't want it, right? Like, you realize like I not only can I deserve this, but like the people in that room really aren't that much smarter than me.
Yeah.
I have full permission. Like this is what gives you the permission to have success. It's crazy how that works. But yeah, love it. I love what you guys are doing. So
last thing, if you don't implement AI, you'll be homeless.
Yeah, it's a lot better message than what you're ending with the other shows with before. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve-O.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.
Shout out to Steve Train. Jump on the Steve Train. Disruptors.